You don't just want to be good. You crave holiness, and it terrifies you. Not because holiness is scary, but because deep down, you know the cost, and yet you still want it more than comfort, more than applause, more than anything this filthy world can offer. That craving isn't normal. It's not cultural, not taught, and certainly not celebrated. It's a secret ache that keeps you awake at night, the cry of your spirit when your flesh is exhausted, the whisper in the middle of noise that says, "Be set apart." And it's not because you're perfect, it's because you're marked. There's something about you that can't stay satisfied in compromise. You try to blend in, but it doesn't stick. You stumble, but conviction chases you faster than shame ever could. You get close to sin, and it burns like fire instead of giving you the numbness others seem to enjoy. That's not guilt, it's grace. You were never meant to belong to the mud. Like Moses raised in Pharaoh's house, but drawn to a mountain no one else wanted to climb, your DNA is spiritual, even when your surroundings are carnal. The reason you secretly crave holiness is because God has placed eternity in your bones, Ecclesiastes 3:11, and everything unclean feels like a betrayal of who you truly are. You can't fake darkness when you've tasted light. You've tried to silence the longing with distraction, but it doesn't die, it grows. That ache is proof you're chosen. The ones God sets apart often carry burdens no one sees, the burden to say no when others say yes, to walk away when others stay, to hunger for righteousness in a generation drunk on self. It's not because you're self-righteous. It's because your spirit remembers Eden, and that memory stirs in moments you can't explain, when a song breaks you, when a verse convicts you, when a silence feels holier than the loudest sermon. The craving isn't just emotional, it's war. Romans 7:22 says you delight in God's law in your inner being, but there's another law fighting you, one that hates what you carry. So when you fall, the shame is heavier. When you drift, the pain is deeper. Because you don't just sin, you grieve. You don't just crave purity, you feel like a traitor when you compromise it. That's the mark of someone God has called to walk closely. You weren't called to survive this culture. You were called to confront it with a life that exposes the counterfeit by simply existing. That's why the warfare is personal. That's why your flesh gets tempted with things tailor-made to your old wounds. That's why relationships keep getting tested, why your boundaries get mocked, why isolation feels like home some days. Because holiness isn't trendy, it's threatening, it disrupts, it convicts. And that's why the enemy tries to dress sin in religious language, to make you believe compromise is wisdom and holiness is legalism. But make no mistake, the craving for holiness isn't pride, it's prophecy. It's the Spirit groaning within you, reminding you that you were made for something cleaner, deeper, higher. And yes, it's lonely. Set-apart people don't have crowds, they have altars. You will feel the distance, you will be misunderstood. But here's the truth. Craving holiness in a dirty world is the clearest evidence that heaven has touched your life. It's not shame, it's separation. It's not elitism, it's evidence. And if you feel that war inside, that pull toward purity that won't shut up, even when no one else seems to care, then thank God for it, because it means you're still soft, still aware, still alive. You haven't been numbed, you haven't been handed over, you're still fighting, still longing, still hoping. And if that craving has brought you to tears or made you want to give up or made you feel out of place in your own church, hold on, that ache is working for you. Romans 8:28 doesn't just apply to visible victories, it applies to the wrestle, to the tension, to the gap between who you are and who you're becoming. Holiness isn't perfection, it's pursuit. And the fact that you're still pursuing, still caring, still craving something better than what the world calls normal, that's not weakness, that's calling, that's God's hand. So don't kill the craving, don't bury it under shame or performance. Let it burn, let it drive you to secret places of prayer where the war gets won in silence. Let it wreck you until nothing satisfies but His presence. You're not broken for wanting more, you're chosen for it. This isn't about behaving better, it's about becoming who you were always meant to be, holy, set apart, unapologetically different. Not because you're better than the world, but because Christ in you is.